Hello students, in this lecture we are going to discuss about the new topic of the Automata lecture series, that is Chomsky hierarchy, also known as the types of formal grammar, classes or levels of the formal grammars. So we are dividing or categorizing the grammar based on the type or format of their production rules, and we are calling it at different levels or different classes of the formal grammar. So in exam or in any competitive exams, you will get the questions on many question on these classes or levels of formal grammar, means their names and their format of the production rules for different types of grammars. So let's start with the lecture here. So the Chomsky hierarchy is defining the classification of the formal grammar. Next, every production rule is defined by these type of production rules, means here we have some left hand side and some right hand side. Here left hand side is rewritten with the right hand side while deriving any string. So these are the general rules for the any grammar. And the symbols we have discussed so far are the non-terminals and the terminals. So non-terminals are the internal nodes of the syntax tree and terminals are the leaf nodes of the syntax tree. So new symbols for this hierarchy or this levels of the grammars we are defining as V. So here V is a new symbol that is representing total number of symbols of the grammar, means the union of non-terminal or terminal is represented by V. So V is the total symbols used in a particular grammar. Okay, so next, starting with the hierarchy. So here we have at the first level we are having type 0 grammar, also known as recursively enumerable grammar, phrase structured grammar, all the unrestricted grammar. So these are the abbreviations for type 0 grammar, and this type 0 grammar is recognized by the Turing machine, means type 0 corresponding to type 0 language we are having type 0 grammar. Okay, and the type 0 grammar is recognized by the Turing machine. Same way, next we are having the type 1 grammar. So here this type 1 grammar is also known as context sensitive grammar. We are going to have details of all these types or the with definition and formats of the production rules later on. So context sensitive grammar is recognized by automata, that is linear bounded automata. Next we have type 2 in the hierarchy, and type 2 is defined by with the help of push down automata, and it is also known as context free grammar. Last in the hierarchy we have type 3 grammar. So type 3 grammar is also known as regular grammar, that we have covered or practiced till now, and the type 3 grammar is recognized by finite automata, that are DFAs and NFAs. So this is the basic model of the levels, different levels of the or the classes of the grammar, where we can say that type 1, here the type 1 is subset of type 0, and type 2 and type 3 are subset of type 1, or type 3 is subset of all other types. Okay, so here we are representing type 0, or we are saying type 0 grammar corresponding to type 0 language. Here we are saying type 2, or we can say that the grammar corresponding to the type 2 languages. Okay, so what are these categories and what are these languages? Let's discuss. So Chomsky hierarchy is defined as this. Here the next we have this type of relationship, means here the type 3 is subset of type 2, type 2 is subset of type 1, or we can say that type 0 is subset of all other superset of all other type of grammar. So type 3 is also covered under this, type 2 is covered under this, and the type 1, type 2 and type 3 is all covered under this. So type 0 is subset of all types of grammar. So every type of language, every type of grammar is type 0. Okay, and type 3 is also type 2, type 2 and 3 are also type 1. So this is the way how we define these grammars. Okay, so every grammar is type 0, but for other we have to check their production rules. Okay, their formats of production rules. Next we are saying that type 3 is subset of type 2. Okay, so we are applying certain restriction over type 0 language. type 0 grammar. So after applying certain restrictions, we are getting type 1, and after applying certain restriction over type 1 we are getting type 2, and after applying certain restriction over type 2 we are getting type 3. So this is the way how we are moving towards the type from type 0 to type 3, or we can say that type 0 is unrestricted grammar, means there is no restriction over the production rule or the types of production rules with type 0 grammar, but we can say that we are applying certain restrictions and we are having type 1, and after applying some more restriction we are having type 2, and after applying some more restriction we are having type 3. So we can say that type 3 is the most restricted form of the grammar. Okay, so we have the most restricted grammar as type 3 or the regular grammar, and DFA and NFAs are the automata that are going to recognize the regular grammar or the regular languages. So starting with the definitions of these classes or these levels of the grammar. So first we have type 0 grammar. So the most general one, also known as recursively enumerable or the phrase structured grammar, unrestricted grammar recognized by the Turing machine. Here the production rules are going to be of this type. Alpha can be rewritten as beta, where alpha is a string of terminal, non-terminal, or it can be defined with a V symbol or with union of terminal and non-terminal like we have here. And on the other left hand side we are having alpha. So here the alpha is defined as the string of terminal and non-terminal, means we can also have the terminals on the left hand side of production rules, but we must have at least one non-terminal. Okay, otherwise we will not be able to rewrite any non-terminal with the right hand side. So we must have at least one non-terminal, means we can have the production rules like this for type 0 grammar. So we can have the production rule like this, A, B or C, but we cannot have these type of rules are allowed for type 0. We can also have this type of rules. So these rules are type 0 or the context, or we can say that recursively enumerable or phrase structured grammar rules are these, but we cannot have this type of rules, means total terminals on the left hand side as alpha are not allowed in any grammar, So as type 0 is the unrestricted form of the grammar, so the basic restriction is we must have at least one non-terminal on the left hand side, so that we can rewrite that non-terminal with the production rule. Okay, rest is okay. Every other type of rules are allowed in type 0. There is no restriction. Next we have type 1 grammar. So type 1 is also known as context sensitive grammar recognized by linear bounded automata. Here all the rules of type 0 grammar are also applied, along with a new rule, that is length of alpha must be less than equal to length of beta, means length of left hand side of any production rule must be less than the length of the right hand side of the production rule. So here we can have this type of rule, means this is type 0 and also type 1. So every grammar that is type 1 is also type 0, as type 1 is subset of type 0, right? So here this is type 1 production rule and also type 0 production rule, but this rule, suppose we are having this replaced with this, so rewritten as AB. So here the length of alpha is 3 and the length of beta side, that is this side, is 2. So this type of production rule can belong to type 0, but this type of production rule is not part of the type 1 grammar, because as we are having the length of beta is less than the length of alpha. So this type of rule is not allowed in type 1 grammar, but yes, we can have that this type of rule is allowed. Okay, here the length of alpha is equal to length of beta, so this type of rule is allowed for type 1 grammar, but the length of alpha cannot be greater than the length of beta side for type 1 grammar, right? Next, we are calling it context sensitive grammar, and the production rules are of this type, where we are rewriting A with gamma in left context of alpha and right context of beta. Here the A is rewritten with this gamma if we are having left context as alpha and right context as beta. Here alpha, beta, gamma are the string of terminal non-terminals, right? So here what do we mean by the context? So here the left context means, and what does the right context means we cannot replace alone A with this production rule. We need alpha on left hand side and beta on right hand side to replace this A, or to rewrite this production rule with this right hand side, right? So one context is context, these contexts are optional, means we can have only this type of rule, means here we are having only left context, or we can go with right context only as per the requirement of our language or the statement. So here we are having right context, or if we are having this type of production rule, then in that case we are having left and right context as null. Okay, so either we are having both context, left or right, or we are having only left context or only right context, or we are having only non-terminal, means left and right context are null. So this type of rules are known as the context sensitive rules. Here we are having some context, means some reason. Let's take a simple example, as we are having this simple English sentence, the boy ate the fruit. Okay, while converting this sentence to Hindi language, we are having this replacement, means the boy is written as ladke, but for English language the meaning of boy is ladka. Okay, but here in this sentence we are using the word ladke, because here we are having a right context as ne. Okay, so if we are using ne as a right context, so we cannot replace boy with ladka, we have to replace it with ladke, because we are having right context as ne. Okay, so in right context we are converting boy to ladke instead of ladka. Ladke ne सेब खाया. Okay, so here the context plays a role. So we will be having examples of the context sensitive grammar and how we write production rules corresponding to a context sensitive grammar. We will be discussing in later sessions. Next we have another rule with the context sensitive grammar is length of alpha should be less than equal to length of beta. So by this rule we cannot have this type of production rule in the grammar, means we cannot have this type of production rules. Suppose we are having the production rule like this, right? So if we are having this type of production rule, then while deriving the string from this production rule, we will be, as if we are starting with the first production rule, then we are generating a null, and but if we are starting with the second production rule while deriving the string, then this is the sentential form. And by applying null, means or leftmost derivation, we are replacing this leftmost s with the null value. So next sentential form will be this, and again replacing the leftmost non-terminal with the null, the next sentential form is this. So here the length is going in decreasing order while whenever we are applying this null rule. So we cannot have this null rule, as the length of the beta side is going in decreasing order, means here the length is 4, the next sentential form is having length 3, and the next sentential form is having length 2. So we are hoping that length of sentential form should go in increasing order, not in decreasing order. So these type of rules are not allowed in the grammar if s appears on right hand side of the production rule. Means if we want to generate the null from the grammar, derive the null from the grammar, then we can have such rule, but we with certain condition, that if we are having this rule, means we want to derive the null from the grammar, then we can have the null corresponding to the start symbol in the grammar, but in that case the start symbol or s should not appear on right hand side of any production rule. Okay, so we can have this type of rule in the grammar, but in that case s should not appear on right hand side of any production rule. So we can have these type of rules. Okay, so here b is deriving b, so but s should not appear on the right hand side of any production rule, right? So this is all about the context sensitive grammar. In the exam you may have the question on right short not on phrase structured grammar, unrestricted grammar, context sensitive grammar, context free grammar. So all these terms may be asked individually in the exam, or you may have the question like explain or describe the levels of grammar or the classes of grammar or the Chomsky hierarchy. Direct question may be there, or you may have the short notes on all these abbreviation, means context sensitive, unrestricted, etc, etc, right? So next we have type 3 grammar, that is also known as context free grammar and recognized by the push down automata. This is the most we can say that useful grammar in terms of compiler or in terms of application, because the compiler is totally based on the context free grammar. Here we have no such context like no left context, no right context. So here on for every rule beta can be the string of terminal, non-terminal, and on the left hand side we are having only non-terminal. We cannot have terminals on the left hand side, so we are restricting, we are applying some more restriction over the left hand side. So here all these rules are we can say that context free rules, as we have already covered these type of grammar in previous examples. So all these production rules belong to the context free grammar or type 2 grammar category. Next we have, or at the last level we are having type 3 grammar, also known as the regular grammar, corresponding to which you can easily draw NFAs and DFA on, and you can write the production rules from the extract the production rule from the DFA only. So here the production rule are of the type terminal followed by a single terminal followed by single non-terminal, or we can have single non-terminal followed by single terminal, or only the terminal. Okay, and left hand side same as the context free grammar is going to have only non-terminals. There will not be any terminal on the right hand so on the left hand side. So production rules to be more clear, the production rule are of this type, means terminal followed by non-terminal or non-terminal followed by terminal, and or only the terminal. Okay, so we can also have any terminal here, or any terminal followed by the non-terminal. So all these rules belong to the type 3 or the regular grammar. So further we can also call this as the regular grammar, although we are having 3 terminals, or we can say that we are deriving a string of terminals where W belongs to string of terminal. So this is also the regular grammar. Reason being because we can always convert this type of production rule to this type of rules. Easily we can convert to these type of rules. Okay, so how we can convert? Let's try to convert this rule to equivalent regular grammar rule, or this type of rule as this. So for this conversion we need to introduce some new non-terminal to hold the rest of the part of the production rule. So here we are having this x as the extra non-terminal, so x is deriving b and y. Now y is ultimately deriving this a. So here these 3 rules are equivalent to this one rule. So these 3 rules, so we can convert, as we can convert this grammar to this form or regular grammar form, so we can also call it as a regular grammar, right? Next we have 2 more terms, or we are differentiating type 3 grammar into 2 categories as right linear grammar and the left linear grammar. If we are having this type of rules, then we are calling it the right linear grammar, and if we are having this type of rule, then we are calling it the left linear grammar. By right linear we mean that suppose we are having this type of production rule, so in this type of production rule we are always going to replace the rightmost non-terminal. Okay, so we are having only the option at the rightmost as this. So while deriving we will be replacing the rightmost non-terminal. right? So for leftmost non-terminal, left linear grammar, we have production rule of this type, means we are having the non-terminal, or maybe we may have different non-terminal here, as I am taking only A on the both side, left and right side. You can have different non-terminal. So here we are replacing only the leftmost non-terminal as this. So here we are replacing the leftmost non-terminal, and here we are replacing the rightmost non-terminal. So we are calling this grammar as a right linear grammar and this grammar as a left linear grammar, because we are having leftmost symbol as the non-terminal and here we are having rightmost symbol as a non-terminal. Or we can go with any other type of, we cannot go with any other type of replacement here, either rightmost non-terminal or the leftmost non-terminal for the regular grammar, for this type of regular grammar. Next, always this type of grammar is better because we are having some terminals to match with the input string. Okay, so we can match some input here to apply a particular production rules, means we can judge what type of production rule or which production rule to apply to retrieve the desired string. But here, as we are having non-terminal on the leftmost side, so we cannot match the inputs from the production rules. Okay, so we will be talking about this concept later in later sessions. So this is also the form of right linear grammar and the left linear grammar. If we are having a string followed by, here W is a string of terminals, followed by a non-terminal followed by a string of terminals. So we can also write this type of grammar, or we can always convert this type of rule to regular grammar rule as this. So converting this rule to regular grammar rule as this, introducing new non-terminal as x, and x will be rewritten as this. So we are having these two rules corresponding to this given rule. So we can always, as we can convert these type of rules to these type of rules easily, regular rules easily, so we also call them regular grammar or type 3 grammar, right? So in next lecture we will be discussing about the identification of the grammar, means we will be given with the production rules and we have to identify the type of grammar it is. So till then, bye.